Hi guys, I'm Simone. Welcome to Earth Wisdom Fire Tarot. So this is going to be a reading for couples for during this transit. What you might be able to expect, what might be coming up in your relationship. You can apply this to other kinds of non-romantic type of situations, but I'm going to be getting the energy probably like it's more like a romantic couple type of situation. So definitely check out the other readings that I did for the general, I think it's called The Journey from Fear to Love. Yes. And I think that'll probably give you a good foundation for this reading, or they'll be connecting messages. So I just did the singles one, and that's definitely the case. When Spirit tells me to do reading a certain way, I just do it. I've never done it this format before, but so far it's been really cool. Hope you like it. This transit will last until like the end of June. Then right after that, I think we have a Mercury retrograde, and then we have eclipse season. So it's going to be a busy summer. Wow. Same card as last time. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is the Hanged Being. So the overall energy that I'm getting is that whatever energy your relationship was in before this transit began, you're going to be kind of going deeper, like delving deeper into that energy. So I'm getting a few different like scenarios. So I'll try to see how they're all connecting there. And then we have, Divine Feminine and Ace of Cups and Page of Cups here all hanging out at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like there's a lot of love available to you here. There's an opening, you know, for more and more and more of what you've been giving into this relationship to come out. To really go deep into your emotions here. And to kind of see the bigger picture. So if you've been maybe wanting to make more plans with your person, or kind of get some like tangible things nailed down, I don't think that this transit is going to be where you're working a lot of that stuff out. I feel like what's happening here is you're getting more emotionally available and more emotionally open with each other, and you're also allowing for more love to come into your relationship from the divine. So I feel like you're going deeper into like this spiritual place with your partner that you might not have been able to have before. There might have been too many other things sort of clouding it. So it's almost like the same way that I feel like people are like individually kind of cocooning. I feel like in this relationship you are kind of slowing down and allowing things to go deeper than they have been able to before. You have the Eight of Wands. So like I said, I feel like there's some outside influence. And I feel like this is more the person that you're dealing with. Like I'm going to talk about like the way they have me doing this reading is that like there's somebody on the left, there's somebody on the right, and then there's your energy in the middle. And I feel like you might be more the person on the right, but you can switch for whichever part of this relationship that you're in. But I feel like there's somebody here who's getting a lot of insight, getting a lot of downloads about what they truly desire and what they want. And I feel like there's this outside influence that's kind of confusing them and getting them inside their head. So it's almost like they're getting too many options, or they're getting too many ideas, and they're needing some time to just really sort through a lot of that and get deeper into themselves. So I think the way that you're experiencing this is that you're feeling a little bit shut off from that. And I think it's making you feel maybe kind of sad or withdrawn. And with this Four of Cups, I also feel like it's almost like you're connecting more to this person's energy and their emotions, and connecting to them telepathically more than you're like actually communicating to each other. So it's very interesting. Like I said, whatever the situation was in your relationship, you're going deeper into it during this time. But I'm getting the sense that this is a relationship that is either newer, or it's gone through some kind of change. Yeah, you've gone through some kind of change recently. And I think that you're both just trying to get your footing and trying to like figure it out. And you're taking it more, or like, I'm talking like you're the person on the right, but you could be either person. Like you're going more within. You're getting deeper inside yourself. You are maybe needing that time and introspection to get to know yourself, so that you can be in this Nine of Cups energy where you feel emotionally independent. So you could come from a past of codependency where you just get really wrapped up in your partner and kind of lose yourself in them. And you get wrapped up in like the energy and the emotions running high and the passion and the desire, but there are these other things that were maybe neglected. So I feel like you are kind of feeling the I think that you're kind of a little worried of this relationship kind of slipping into unhealthy patterns because of that. Or this has just straight up been an unhealthy relationship from the beginning, and this Venus retrograde is amplifying that and helping you see that very, very clearly. But I feel like whatever's going on here, this other person, they are externalizing their energy. They are kind of looking outside of themselves for guidance or whatever, and it's not helping, it's not working. Like their emotions and their real true insight, they're all happening within, and there's like this snowball effect I'm feeling, like there's something that's snowballing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're not dealing with it by going within, which is what you're doing. So it's almost like you need to be careful of maybe doing emotional labor for your person. You don't want to get caught up in being the one who's in touch with your emotions and that being your job in the relationship, because it's not. It's a two-way street. You both have to be doing that. And I think that you do need some better communication. You need more open communication. So, this other person, we have the Six of Swords, and they, I think, are going to continue to kind of try to outrun their emotions or what's going on within them. They really don't want to go into that. They don't want to delve deep into that. They're really trying to avoid at all costs getting into the nitty-gritty of like whatever's coming up for them during this transit, which I'm getting the sense that it's a lot of self-doubt and it's a lack of worthiness. That's like the main thing that I'm feeling here. I think it's also a numbness. I'm feeling like a numbing, like too much of a good thing is numbing this person. So I think for you, I think that you're still feeling like there's something here, but you're worried about this ending with the Ten of Swords. I think that that's your main deep-seated unconscious fear here. I think that you're worried that because of this devil energy between you, this could be codependent. It doesn't have to be as intense like a toxic situation, but there is something here with this devil energy that is not totally healthy. And this other person, I think, wants to go deeper into that energy. And I think that you are worried that it's going to lead to pain and suffering, because you're the one who's much more in touch with your emotions. So you're much more aware of where this could lead, because it's like your emotions are your guide. you know, because I think that you've been the one who's maybe like unpacked a lot of the stuff from past relationships, from past situations, that you're not as willing to turn a blind eye to any kind of red flags or any kind of instability or problems in the relationship. So with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like there aren't going to be like any rash decisions made here. I think that if you're wanting to move towards, like I said, having conversations about your future, about where things are headed, that's going to be available to you at the end of all of this. But whatever is going on, you do have to kind of take things one step at a time and be very deliberate and make sure that you're on the same page, because I do feel like for some of you, whatever you're seeing during this transit is going to make you realize that you don't want to do this anymore. For others, I think you're going to realize that your fears were unfounded. So whatever is going on in your personal relationship, this reading is covering a lot of different, like I said, a lot of different storylines. So it could go either way. And it's your choice. I think that's something that's really important here too, is that you deserve whatever it is that you want. This Nine of Cups is you manifesting the life of your dreams. So Devil energy, you know, could also mean passion and desire. I'm going to look deeper into these energies actually. I've got my other deck here. There's definitely some tension here, that's for sure. Okay. So I'm definitely getting much more masculine energy from the person on the left. God, all these cards are in reverse. Yeah, they're really not wanting to face something about themselves. I think it doesn't have anything to do with you, honestly. I'm gonna try one more card, see if I can get the card in the upright. Wow, it's crazy. Nope, literally all in the reverse. And the Two of Swords came out again. Wow. So that's the Two of Swords twice. This person is so completely shut off from their emotions. They are talking a good game though. I feel like when they do talk, it sounds right. It sounds logical on the surface, but they are completely out of alignment with their heart. I'm not seeing anything here. It's like there's all this love available here, but it's like it's having trouble penetrating whatever sort of barrier this person has put up. And they want to do anything but deal with their emotions. And I feel like they have a deep fear of commitment and stepping up here and like being responsible, you know, for you or for anyone. With the Hierophant in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse, I feel like they definitely have a major spiritual mission. They have a calling that they're ignoring. And they're dragging their feet, you know, on pursuing a dream or saying the hard thing. I think they have something that they need to tell you, but they don't even want to acknowledge it themselves. So with the Justice card being in reverse, they don't want to say goodbye. They don't want things to end. They don't want to part. I think that's actually why they're holding back so much, is because they don't want to say something that could end this relationship. They don't want to be the one to do it. They don't want to mess this up. But the problem is that they're doing that by being so emotionally repressed and not letting whatever needs to come out, come out. So with this Two of Pentacles in reverse, they are almost like completely shutting down. Like they might even go into like a mini depressive episodes. I see them just like not taking care of basic things, like not, you know, showing up for things that they normally do. Like they're really taking whatever is going on here very, very very hard. They're not taking it well. And they're struggling here. And it's because they're not facing their emotions. They're doing everything they possibly can to avoid emotional vulnerability or feeling something that they don't want to feel. So with this King of Swords in reverse, I don't think that this is ending anytime soon. I don't think that they're going to open up anytime soon. They're just really closed off. There's like this door they just really do not want to open. And they definitely don't want you to see whatever's behind that door. It's just like so crazy how closed off they are, you know? So let's look at your energy. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So I think that the difficulty that you have with this situation is that you don't want to be alone. You may actually feel like it's not possible for you to maybe support yourself alone. Maybe you're living with this person, or your stability is tied to this other person in some way, but I feel there's a hesitancy on your side to end it because you don't want to be alone. And I think that you really don't want to cause a conflict here. But the truth is that whatever you're picking up on emotionally, whatever sadness or whatever's going on for you emotionally, and you're doing the same work with other persons, they're not doing like a nickel of it. They're not doing any of the work that they need to be doing. You're avoiding confrontation and you're avoiding drama. You want things to kind of be easy, be on an easy, even keel. You kind of just want to like bide your time and wait this out. But the deeper you get into this retrograde, the more glaring the issues and the problems are going to become. The difficulties that you have connecting with each other, they're going to become more and more and more difficult. And with the Four of Rods, I feel like you are willing to commit to this, but it's interesting because in this deck, the Four of Wands doesn't have any people in it, and usually it does. And it's like you have this pretty picture, you have this pretty life that you can see. And it's almost like you're plugging this other person that you're with into this picture because they're around, they're who's there. But I feel like you're maybe forcing something here to try to fit where it's not supposed to be. And there's all this love available, but it might not be coming from this person. Because if they can't find that love within themselves, they're not going to be able to give it to you. So, we have the Lovers in reverse. So I feel like you're really not wanting to be the one to choose, which is why this other person is feeling all this pressure to not be the one to choose either. You're both kind of at this stalemate. It's almost like this Cold War energy that I'm getting, where it's like that's why there's not a lot of communication, because both of you kind of feel like if you say anything, it's going to be that conversation that ends it. And with the Seven of Swords, I feel like, and the Five of Swords coming out, whenever I see these two energies come out together, this is a sign that you have veered into mind games and manipulation. And that's where I think things could head for you if you kept going down this road of keeping all your emotions kind of to yourself and not expressing yourself authentically to your partner here. Yeah, I definitely feel like this relationship, if it was on rocky ground before this, it's going to force you into a very uncomfortable spot. And because this other person isn't willing to open up and actually communicate honestly and effectively and in a healthy way, it's affecting your ability to do that because you're kind of following their lead. So this Ten of Cups, I feel like there is this happiness available to you, but it feels like it has nothing to do with this relationship. It feels like it's coming after you end it. Like this Ten of Swords leads to your Ten of Cups. And I think this Ten of Swords is you being right, like feeling like there is something that's on its way out here. So I'm going to clarify this Devil energy between you and the Knight of Pentacles as well. Ooh. Well, Wow. Okay, so you have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. I don't think that this is personal. I feel like this has a lot to do with what you've experienced from past relationships and past trauma. I feel like this, it has been unhealthy, you know. I think there have been secrets here. The Moon. This is not a long-term partnership type of thing with the Ten of Pentacles being in reverse. Wow. I definitely feel like it's almost like you're in denial, and then like poof, like something happens and you just realize that you deserve better with the Six of Pentacles. And you deserve someone who gives the same effort that you do. You deserve like that back and forth, that flow, you know, and that's not present here. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of uncomfortable stuff buried underneath the surface. There's outside influences that this other person is bringing in. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, you're either slowly walking towards the end here, or you're cutting it off when you realize that you're not on the same page and you don't want the same things. Like, look at the mirroring in this card. You know, that's you being on the same page as the other person, but I'm not seeing it. You have the Ace of Cups here in reverse. And remember, the Ace of Cups was right here underneath the deck. It's right here. These other Cups cards. But now it's in reverse because when it comes to specific relationship, this is not it. This is not it. I feel like I can definitively say that now. If you're still watching this reading, yeah, this is not your relationship. I mean, this is not your happiness. You have the Three of Swords and the Hangman. So it's like you can either, you know, hold on, like you can either just like be passive and not try to end this, or you can end it, feel the pain, and move on very, very quickly into what's actually meant for you. But either way, this is whether you're like slowly moving towards heartbreak or you're rapidly getting there. This feels like it's on its way out, and this Venus retrograde is a way for you to kind of get out of it in a way that sets you up for happiness in the future. That's what I really feel here. I'm going to clarify. You, the person who's watching this, your specific energy, like what you have to look forward to. Well, there it is. Yeah. So you have the Tower in reverse. So for you, this is not going to be as devastating or intense or as emotional as it has been in the past, or even how it's going to be for this other person. This other person is so out of touch with their emotions. It's going to be really hard for them to recover from this. But for you, you have the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands. There is an actually balanced, loving relationship available to you here in the future. You just have to walk your own path and make the right decisions for yourself. With the Three of Pentacles, I feel like you have to choose where you want to put your effort and what you really truly want to work on. And I feel like what's happening here is that you're realizing that this is not worth working on. This is on its way out. And with the Page of Cups, I feel like you're going to be opening up your heart and offering yourself, you know, for a new beginning. So that's going to come in for you. So things look good for you. I just feel like this relationship, it was already rocky, you know, it was already experiencing some difficulty here. And this Venus retrograde is a way for you to sort of get closure on it and get out of it in a way that gives you a blank slate and a clean slate for what's next, for what's new. Ooh. So bottom of the deck is patience. So I feel like that's kind of the energy that you kind of came into this reading with. Like you may have known that this relationship was, you're having questions about. That's why you're watching a reading about it. And I think you have been very patient, and I think you've been wanting this person to open up and deal with their stuff, maybe deal with their trauma. Maybe you're like able to see it so clearly that they have trauma that they're not willing to address here. But really what's happening is you've been selling yourself short. You've been selling out. You've been settling. And you could possibly see this person's potential. You could see what they could become. But because of your past, I think that you're very patient. You just felt like you were stuck with them, and you felt like the same way that you felt about your family, that you wanted to give them a chance to grow and heal and become their greatest version. But the inner child healing is on different levels. Like, you've done a lot more healing. You've been a lot more honest with yourself, is what I feel. If you're watching this and still watching this, like, you've been the one who's been more willing to engage with your emotions, engage with your triggers, dig into your trauma, find answers. And you've been breaking generational curses. You've been breaking major cycles here, and you're wanting to start a new one. And I feel like that is available to you. You have this 10 of Cups, Page of Cups, 2 of Cups, 2 of Rods energy here. You have a new beginning available to you that's very balanced and very healthy and moving in the right direction. Somebody who can be emotionally vulnerable the same way that you are. This person that you're with is not that person. They're afraid of rejection. They have this very, very deep-seated fear of rejection. And that's why they're afraid to even bring anything up here. Because even if they're the one who would try to end it, I think that they would feel a lot of guilt. And they don't want to go through any kind of negative emotions. They don't want to trigger anything. So they're willing to go through the motions. Actually, that's what this Knight of Pentacles is really talking about. They're willing to keep going through the motions, just keep putting one step in front of the other, just keep going, as a way to avoid the pain of things ending. They have not dealt with their pain and their trauma from the past, and they're using this relationship to kind of hide away from it. So you need to embrace a new cycle. You need to embrace a new beginning. You need to open up to another possibility for your own life and not go down with this other ship here, because they are just very, very unwilling to see past their pain, to heal. They have a blindfold on. They do. It's unfortunate, so wishing you the best. And yeah, love you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you're interested in getting a personal reading, you can find that at earthwithsonefire.com. I do couples and love readings on there, so let me know how I can help. Okay, bye.